The charges that are laid today are against a man in Windsor who is being charged with 4 counts of harassment and mischief, as well as a hate crime for phoning my office more than once and threatening and harassing and being anti-Semitic, all of which was directed at me as a Jewish family physician, as a woman, and as somebody who has been very vocal in advocating for public health measures to take care of each other in the community. Those are 4 charges that are being laid for 2 calls that came in at the beginning of September. Yeah. And that was really a morning in which we had multiple phone calls, but that occurs all the time. And these are not people who are my patients. These are primarily anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers, people who are lashing out at anyone who stands up and says, you know, it's important to get a vaccine, or it's important to wear a mask, or it's important to do all the other things that we can do to help keep each other safe. But for me, the hardest thing is that sometimes it's people in our community, and you know, we've had people come to our door, and my poor staff, like, she has to answer phones and take messages, and she gets just bombarded by all this horrible stuff, and then she has to pass that on to me, and then we have to pass that on to the police. And those aren't just anonymous bots or trolls. Like, those are people who took the time to be so horrible. And some of them, well, I've shared with you the victim statement that I sent, but some of the phone calls come from the 613 area. In this case, this is somebody who's in the Windsor area, you know, but that's like, it's easy for people to say, oh, well, you know, this is just American and it's just, you know, people in Texas or whatever, but it's really not. Yeah. It's here. Yeah. But this is the first time where it's been both harassment and hate. And with rising anti-Semitism and racism and other bigotry, it's like really important that we stand up for both issues, because it's not random, and it hasn't been random. The people who've been inordinately harassed have been women, people of color, Jewish people, and that's true in medicine, it's true in nursing, it's true in journalism, it's true in many, I mean, it's kind of sad that it took until December of 2021 for that to be passed, but it's an important law, and it is a way of saying that when we do our work, we need to know that somebody has. People have said, well, it's brave to pursue this, to charge this person. I don't see that as brave. I see it as just like literally a necessary step for all of us, so that doctors and nurses and politicians and journalists and anybody who is doing the work that we're supposed to do is you know, doing it at least knowing that if people are violent and threatening and racist and anti-Semitic, that there's some consequence for their actions.